All right, also working with us tonight on the telecast is Norm Cash, the former Tiger first baseman who won a batting championship in 1961. The Pirates have a man who was leading the league for quite some time, but has now dropped to third behind Pete Rose and Ken Griffey. Center fielder Al Oliver.
Well, for a break, he was hitting 360, and now he's hitting 328, which is still pretty good. But he told me before the game that he hasn't had. Keep going, get tight.
One key, obviously, offensively to Pittsburgh's success is the man who hits behind Oliver, first baseman Wilbur Stargell.
Well, Big Willie, he's having a pretty good year for most players. He's got 15 home runs and 50 RBIs. And I know a lot of guys that would take that for the whole year, but it's subpar for Willie. And for the Pirates to do any good, Willie's got to hit a lot of home runs and drive in a lot of runs. And so he'll come back and have a last 2 good months.
The Dodgers have a man who may not win a batting championship, but has certainly developed into one of the most consistent hitters in the National League. Steve Garvey up there in the top 10 again today.
Well, I just call him smooth swinging Steve, and he's got that good swing, you know, overswing, hits the ball where it's pitched, and he's just a real nice guy, and he really could care less what the rest of his players on his team thinks about him.
We've got the Dodgers and the Pittsburgh Pirates coming up from Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. John Candelaria to take on Doug Rau, and we'll be back with the start of tonight's game right after this message.
Max Mileage here, welcoming you to the Firestone Car Service Center, where you can count on us to help you get maximum mileage. We specialize in front-end alignment and precision wheel balancing. We replace worn-out shocks and overhaul drum and disc brakes and return the worn-out parts. Want to know more about Firestone's Max Mileage Car Service? Just check your local newspaper for this week's Firestone Max Mileage Car Service offer.
Cotton denim jeans look terrific when you buy them, but when you wash them, wrinkles, puckers, shrink. Is that what you paid for? Now there's Wrangler no-fault 100% cotton denim jeans and jackets with Sandpercent. Freedom from shrinking, puckers, wrinkles, no matter how often you wash them. And no-fault fades beautifully. At Wrangler, we think Americans should get what they pay for.
It was fun. I like the consistency of that paint.
Anybody likes it.
Here are Lynn and David Harnacker talking about spread latex house paint.
It was a lot easier than I thought.
Spread house paint was a lot better than the other paint. It was thicker and it covered a lot easier.
The house next door must have used a cheaper paint or something because it wasn't just freshly painted, but it didn't hold out at all. And I'm expecting Glidden to last.
Glidden spread house paint. It'll make you loyal, too.
Umpires, Nick Colosi will work the plate. Eddie Montague at first, Lee Wire at second, Paul Runge at third. Dodgers Pirates, and here's tonight's Los Angeles Dodger lineup.
Walt Olson, manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Bartown, Ohio.
Dave Lowe, second base, South Providence, Rhode Island. Ted Sizemore, Los Angeles Dodgers, second baseman, Brea, California.
Bill Russell, shortstop, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Steve Garvey, first base, Tampa, Florida. Ron Say, third baseman, Tacoma, Washington.
Hi, I'm Dusty Baker, Los Angeles Dodgers, and I'll be playing right field tonight, and my home is Los Angeles, California.
Bill Buckner, left field, Vallejo, California. Steve Yeager, catcher, Dayton, Ohio.
Hi, my name is Doug Rau. I pitch for the Los Angeles Dodgers. My hometown is Columbus, Texas.
And the Pirates defensively, the outfield of Zisk, Oliver, and Parker. In the infield, Bill Robinson having a great year at third. Frank Taveras at short, he's had a knee problem and missed several games last week. Rennie Stennett, solid second baseman. Willie Stargell at first. Manny Sanguillen has been ill and has missed several games, so Duffy Dyer is again back of the plate. And the Pirate pitcher tonight, big left-hander John Candelaria. Came up last year from Charleston Candelaria has won 10. He and Jerry Royce are tied for the staff lead in victories. Candelaria 10-4 with a 3.24 ERA. I think most fans remember last year, Gibby, the National League playoffs. Candelaria was not the winning pitcher, but he struck out 14 Reds in game number 3. And on a given night, certainly capable of getting into double figures against the Dodgers.
Well, this guy is definitely one of the pitchers that you can look for in the future. He has great stuff, and normally a left-hander that can throw hard is going to be effective, and certainly he is effective.
The Dodgers, trying to snap a 5-game losing streak, will send up Dave Lopes, Ted Sizemore, and Bill Russell. The Dodgers minus Reggie Smith, hurt making a great catch in the Red Series. Released from the hospital, however, and hopefully will rejoin the team in Chicago over the weekend. Lopes takes a strike. Davey hitting .232. He's been bothered by injuries this season. Was on the disabled list at the outset of the year. 2 homers, 16 runs batted in. The strike one pitch to Lopes is lined to left center field, and Oliver goes back and makes the catch near the track. So Lopes gets good wood, but Oliver takes care of it, and there's one down. Oliver started his major league career as a first baseman, moved into the outfield. He's been maligned a bit out there, but I think one of the better defensive center fielders in the National League, Bob.
I think Al is he can play anywhere you put him. They had him at first base for a while. He was unhappy. He wanted to play center field, but of course they had a couple of guys out there that could play. They made some trades and got rid of him, and now he's back out where he wanted to be.
Ted Sizemore takes inside. Sizemore starting his career as a catcher in the Dodger chain. Came up, won Rookie of the Year as a second baseman, then over to the Cardinals, and now back to L.A. Shallow right field. Parker has a long way to go and gets there. Dave Parker on the run to take care of Sizemore. So Lopes and Sizemore gone in the first. 2 down. And it'll bring up Bill Russell.
You know, you were talking about Oliver a while ago. In my opinion, he's too good to play first base. You know, they can put anybody over there and let them play first base. But, you know, if you got a man that can run and throw, you know, you use him in the outfield. That's the reason they put me at first base, you know. That's the only place I could play.
Sofa-facing Norm Cash. Russell takes inside, ball 1. Bill having his best year. He's hitting an even 7 RBIs. Fouls it back. Russell hitting in the 3 spot. Last year, most of the time, he hit 8. This year, he has been everywhere but 4th. 2 down, bases empty. No score in the first inning at Pittsburgh. Hit down to Tavares. And Candelaria has a 1-2-3 inning. So the Dodgers gone in order after a half inning. Dodgers nothing, and the Pirates coming up.
You know, a state trooper car is really a lot like your car. Watch this. Take away the markings, open the hood, and there's an engine that needs protection. That's why we tested Texaco's Haviland Super Premium Motor Oil in more than 40 trooper cars for over 2 million grueling miles. Of the engines inspected, none showed any sign of unusual wear. And you get this protection without buying any extra motor oil additives. Protect your car like a trooper with Haviland Super Premium Motor Oil.
State Farm agent Paul Ward.
I have dealt with my customers for many years on their automobile and their homeowners policies. So when the time comes to discuss life insurance with them, it's a time when they're able to open up to me because of the fact they already know me. I'm not just someone knocking on their door cold. I'm a friend. I'm someone they can trust and have confidence in.
State Farm is there.
The Dodgers went out in order in the top of the first inning. Doug Rao will work for the Dodgers, and here's the Pittsburgh Pirate lineup that he'll be facing tonight.
I'm Denny Murtaugh, the manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. My hometown is Chester, Pennsylvania.
I'm Frank Tavares, shortstop. I'm from La Plata in Dominican Republic.
I'm Rennie Stennett, second baseman of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Panama Canal Zone.
I'm Al Oliver, center fielder for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm originally from Portsmouth, Ohio.
I'm Willie Stargell of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I play first base. I'm from Oakland, California.
I'm Richie Zisk of the Pittsburgh Pirates. I play left field, and my hometown is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Dave Parker, right field, home, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Bill Robinson, my hometown is Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. I'll be playing at third base.
Buffy Dyer, catcher, Pittsburgh Pirates, hometown, Phoenix, Arizona.
John Candelaria, pitcher, Brooklyn, New York.
Dodgers going out 1-2-3 in the top of the inning, and up come the Pirates to face Doug Rauch, Taveras, Stennett, and Oliver. Taveras missing 4 or 5 games with a bad knee, but back in the lineup yesterday against the Mets. Frank hitting .252 with 17 runs batted in, tied with Joe Morgan for the league lead in steals with 37. Takes a strike.
You know, that's something that's unusual in itself. There's a guy hitting .250, and he's leading the league in stolen bases.
I've got to tell you one thing, and he steals every time he gets on.
Morgan and Taveras have 37. Cedeno has 36. Davey Lopes of the Dodgers, despite all of the injuries, 35. Looped into right field for a base hit. Frank Taveras aboard, leading off with a single to right, and it will bring up Rennie Stennett.
Well, you got to figure he's going to be going almost any time. I would doubt that they would have any kind of a steal sign for him. He just got to be going when he gets a jump.
Dodgers on the field. The outfield of Buckner, Lopes, and Baker. Say at third, Russell at short, Sizemore at second, and Garvey at first. Yeager with a bad knee catching, and Doug Rauch on the mound. Rennie Stennett's been hot. Over the past month, he's hit .333. Takes outside. 1-0. Garvey holding Taveras aboard at first. Frank with 37 steals. He's been caught only 4 times. Breaking ball hit foul outside third. 1-1. Taveras earlier in the season had a string of 27 steals in a row. No score, bottom of the first inning. Doug Rauch working for the Dodgers. Rauch is 10-8. His ERA 2.96. Doug has completed 6 of his 22 starts.
My old friend Ed Herman that just come over to the Houston Astros was one that cut off his 28th try.
Hit to right. Baker. Easy play for Dusty, and there's one down. Herman may have saved Davey Lopes' mark. Lopes last year had a record of 38 in a row. One down. Taveras at first. Held on by Garvey, and up comes Al Oliver. Oliver hitting .328. Having problems since the All-Star break. Pete Rose now leading the league in hitting. Rose is seeking his 4th batting title, and Ken Griffey of the Reds is 2nd. 1-0. The Reds have 5 in the top 10. The Pirates have 2. Oliver and Robinson, and the Dodgers have 1. Garvey, who's 10th. They've got him picked off. Garvey chasing him towards second and flips to Russell, who makes the tag. So Taveras gets caught leaning the other way. And it goes in the books as a caught stealing as they get Taveras going into second. Now, Frank's been bothered with a knee injury and may have re-injured here as Garvey runs him down toward Russell. So Taveras comes limping off. Thrown out 1-3-6 with 2 down now. The 1-0 pitch coming up to Al Oliver. 2-0 the count. Rauch missing inside.
Well, I'm still going to pick this guy to win the batting title. I picked him a couple months ago, and I just think that when he gets hot, he is one of the best streak hitters going.
Ball 4. So Oliver is on. Pete Rose is probably watching in Cincinnati tonight. We're on in Cincinnati. The Reds have an off day, so I'm going to send Pete your home address.
Well, Pete's a good friend of mine, and he's won it before. And I want to see Oliver win it this year. And that's one reason right there that Al is not hitting too good. He hasn't been taking any walks. If you start mixing in a few more walks like that, then he won't go from 0 for 4 and 0 for 5.
Rose used to be a good friend of yours. Stargell takes a strike, 0-1.
You know, I'll tell you one thing that may be the determining factor whether Oliver is going to hit 340 or 50, and that's this guy hitting right now.
Popped up. Ted Sizemore waiting for it. And down go the Bucks in the first. No runs, 1 hit, and a man left on at the end of 1. Dodgers nothing, Pirates nothing.
You like garage sales because you can find such great buys? Then you'll really like the biggest garage sale of them all. Your Chevy dealer's annual garage sale. So if you've been waiting for the best time to buy a 76 model, this is it. You'll likely get some of the best deals you can get on some of the best cars and trucks you can get. Chevrolets. You like that idea? Chevy thought you would. So come on down to your Chevy dealer's garage sale now.
You know, it used to take 43 marked throne beer baseball cards to get 1 call for Rilla. So I was surprised when the light beer people called me to do this commercial. I mean, I do drink light beer, and it tastes great. It's got 1/3 less calories than their regular beer, and it's less filling. But, you know, I'm kind of worried, because if I do for light beer what I did for baseball, I'm afraid their sales might go down.
A word from our sponsor.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Hey, Pete Rose! What's a man really want from an aftershave?
Not fancy perfume.
Or fancy bottles.
Not fancy prices.
No!
A man wants to smell like a man.
There's something about Aqua Velva.
He wants to be cool and refreshed.
There's something about Aqua Velva. A man wants to feel like a man.
Feel like a man.
'Cause there's something about an Aqua Velva man.
Second inning in Pittsburgh. Dodgers nothing, Pirates nothing. This is the first game in a 3-game series. Had to be a long trip for the Dodgers last night. They've got their own plane, which helps out. But when you lose 4 in a row to the Reds, 13 back, I guess it seems like you're going to Siberia to fly cross country.
You know, it's tough even if you won 3 out of 4 and you lose that last game and you got to make a road trip. It's tough on you.
Steve Garvey to lead off in the second inning. And Candelaria starts him with a fastball up high, ball 1. Candelaria, 6'7", 215-pounder. John, 22 years old. Great basketball player in high school in New York. 1-1.
Oh, this guy up there at the plate right now, Garvey, he's smooth. Got a nice, easy stroke. He don't overswing. He knows what he's doing.
Hit to short. Taveras backhands and gets him. Nice play by Frank. So Taveras, despite getting picked off and limping off, staying in. 1 down, and Ron Say the batter. Say has hit a home run in each of his last 3 games. Ron hitting .287, 17 home runs, 56 runs batted in. Say's career high 25 homers, so he'd have a shot at that. Curve for a strike. Candelaria, we talked about him being a great basketball player in New York. He is second in the all-time rebounding figures in the Catholic leagues of New York. And the man who is first, I think you may have heard of him, he used to go by Lou Alcindor.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Candelaria keeping some fast company. Say checking his swing, and the count 1-2.
You know, this guy's small. I wonder where he gets all his power. He's not about 5'10", is he, Bob?
Right, but he weighs about 200 pounds. You know, if you pack 200 pounds into a 5'10" frame, usually a pretty strong guy.
He's got those little short arms, too, you know, a little compact swing.
Candelaria's 1-2 pitch to say. Inside. Interesting, the contrast. The Pirate power men are guys you wouldn't want to run into in back alleys. Parker and Stargell. The Dodger power men are medium-sized people. Say and Garvey.
Well, the Pirate power men look like they played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Some of them.
3-2 the count.
I think the scouting system has a lot to do with the type of player, and the Dodgers are always stress speed, defense, and that's pretty much the type of ball player that they go out and look for.
Grounded foul. Tommy Lasorda handling it outside the coaching box at third.
Probably had a few words of wisdom to throw in there.
A few hundred words of wisdom. And I'm not sure that all of it is wisdom.
Still talking. Look at him.
He forgot we didn't put a mic on him tonight. He's still jabbering away. Good man.
He said, I'll holler loud enough you can hear me anyway.
3-2 to say is called. Strike 3. Fastball at the knees, and down he goes. Candelaria has shut down the first 5. That's his first strikeout. Say is gone. Take a look at the last pitch again from center field.
Yes, sir. That ball is down and in, and normally you don't want to throw a guy down and in, but you catch him by surprise every once in a while. He knew it was a strike.
Snuck that little sidearm in there, too, which you ordinarily don't do.
Dusty Baker at the plate. Baker hitting .247, fouls it back. 0-1. Baker came over in a trade with the Braves. Dodgers thought that Baker would hit around 300 with maybe 20 homers, so Dusty way off. One. Interestingly enough, Baker in his first at-bat as a Dodger hit a home run opening day against John Montefusco in San Francisco, then didn't homer again until July. 2-1 the count.
That's not what you call one of your basically good starts for a home run.
You know, the problem here is staying up for 162 ball games, getting keyed up all the time.
Baker pops it up right side. Rennie Stennett ready to handle it. And the Dodgers are gone in order. So Candelaria has set down 6 in a row. And at the end of an inning and a half, Dodgers nothing, Pirates nothing.
Death Valley, California. 120 degrees. We parked 5 cars, turned on the lights, and waited. 5 hours later, all the batteries are dead. All but one. A Sears Die Hard. The Die Hard, with extra power to start your car when most batteries won't. Sold only at Sears.
You look like you could use some Gatorade. You look like you could use some Gatorade. You've worked up a sweat and you're starting to fade. You look like you could use some Gatorade.
There are many ways to work up a thirst, but one way to really quench it with Gatorade Thirst Quencher, the one drink scientifically designed to give your body what it's thirsty for.
You look like you could use some. You look like you could use some.
No score. Bottom of the second inning. As we look into the Pirate dugout, Richie Zisk emerging to lead off in the bottom of the second inning. Then Dave Parker and Bill Robinson. Nicolosi played umpire tonight. Eddie Montague, 27 years old, rookie umpire. Well, I tell you, he really got into one with Dave Bristol in Atlanta the other night. Montague at first, Lee Wire, tallest umpire in the league, 6'6", at second. And Paul Runge, who tells me he's the handsomest umpire in the league, working at third. Bruce Drumming told me that also.
They all think they're pretty, I'll tell you. And never make a mistake.
Nah, I was going to say, they might not think they're pretty, but they all think they're right.
Gibson's buddies.
Well, you got to give him credit. It's a tough job. He's got to call 150, 60 pitches down there, and ain't nobody alive going to miss a few of them.
You know what's tougher? Having to throw 150, 60 pitches.
Second inning, Kansas City out in front of New York. Battle of the divisional leaders in the American League. Royals 3, Yankees nothing in the second. 1-1 the count on Zisk. Doug Rao, 27-year-old Texan. Rao last year, 15-9. Breaking ball missing, ball 2.
You know, back to that Kansas City, New York game there, the Yankees are starting to melt a little bit. If they lose this game, they might only have about an 8-game lead. They still might have a race.
Good off-speed pitch. Rao turning it over, and just got in front. The count 2-2. Doug Rao came up in late 72. Strike 3, low and in, and Richie Zisk, the first out in the second inning. Rao gets his first strikeout, and it brings up Dave Parker.
I guarantee you he had something on that one besides 2 fingers. He threw that ball hard.
Yeah, if you notice how these guys are pitching, these big, strong guys out on Pittsburgh's ball club, they like to get their arms out and hit that ball away from them. They're trying to keep it in tight.
Trying to jam them.
Hits it off the hands down to Sizemore. Over to Garvey in time. And there's 2 away.
Well, that Parker can really travel. You know, he made a routine out then close the way he runs.
He's fast. Would have made a good tight end.
I believe as big as he is, he could have made anything. He could have played anywhere he wanted to.
He's big enough, he'd tell you where he wanted to play.
Bill Robinson, up and down career, but getting a chance now to play at least semi-regularly and hitting .316. Takes a strike. Robinson, 8th in the league in hitting. They've had him in the outfield, at first base, and now over at third. 0-2 the count.
Picture of right now, he's very confident in himself, you know. For many years he was around the leagues and he just didn't have the confidence, but I talked to him today and he's just a different person.
Strike 2 pitch is way outside. 1-2, 2 down. Duffy Dyer waiting on deck. We're in the bottom of the second inning at Pittsburgh. No score. Foul straight back. Richie Hebner having an off year, so he's being platooned. They've had Tommy Helms at third base from time to time, but Robinson in there now against left-handers.
I might say he's very effective against left-handers. You might say he eats them alive.
2-2 the count. Rao's 2-2 delivery, and Robinson strikes out swinging. So Rao strikes out 2 in the inning. Pirates are gone in order, and we'll go to the third in Pittsburgh with a score: Dodgers nothing, Pirates nothing.
Joseph Cantwell, banker. Mickey Mantle, executive. Fred Poy, airline pilot. Peter Hirsch, engineer. These men are very successful, and they look it. They use a natural conditioner every day. Brill cream, regular or anti-dandruff. So their hair looks healthy, alive, naturally terrific. Tell them, guys.
Brill cream, a little hallelujah for men who use their heads about their hair.
Ask a friend about Firestone, Firestone, Firestone.
Well, I think Firestone radio tires are the best tires ever made.
A friend might not know that Firestone's long-mileage steel-belted Radio 500 is built by craftsmen, piece by piece, one at a time. But when it comes to how Firestone tires work, just ask a friend.
And if I can't get a Firestone, I'll park it.
Firestone.
AmeriCard can make all the difference.
This Saturday, ABC's Wide World of Sports will feature John Neighbor, Shirley Babishop, and other Olympians participating in the National AAU Swimming Championships live from Philadelphia. The Firecracker 400 stock car race from Daytona Beach, Florida, and live reports on the progress of the PGA National Golf Championship from Washington, D.C. That's ABC's Wide World of Sports this Saturday at 3:30 Eastern Time over most of these ABC stations. Also want to remind you, next Monday, ABC's Monday Night Baseball begins 1 hour earlier at 7:30 Eastern Time, 6:30 Central. Consult your local listings for the game in your area next Monday night. Nick Colosi about finished with his house cleaning as we go to the third inning. No score. Bottom of the Dodger order with Bill Buckner, Steve Yeager, and Doug Rao. Buckner coming back after a year in which he was besieged by injuries, hitting .292. With a left-hander Candelaria going, there's Murtaugh, Danny Murtaugh, the Pirate manager. With a left-hander going, Buckner dropping down into the 7 spot. Billy normally hits second, not particularly enamored hitting second in the order. Check swing, and he comes around, and the count 0-2.
Well, this guy's got to be tough on left-hand hitters. There's no way he drops down, and as you mentioned, come from Port Arthur. What do you mean by Port Arthur? It's coming from down underneath the Texas.
That's right. Left-handers just don't like it for some reason. I think they're complaining about that call there. You know, if the manager complains about a call, he can be kicked out of the ball game.
Buckner may have hurt himself on that swing, I'm wondering.
Well, he tried to hold up. He couldn't hold up. He tried to.
Boy, this guy's sidearming. If I was up there, I might have pulled a muzzle. I'll guarantee I'd already pulled one before he got out of the dugout.
You know, we were talking about that before the ball game, and I just don't understand why left-handed pitching is so effective against left-handers. They just don't want to hit off of them. They bail out, they fall over, they lay down, they do a bunch of things. I think he's hurt.
Yeah, Buckner's going to come out. So Buckner trying to check his swing. And he's coming out. Yeager is playing with a bad knee. Ellie Rodriguez, the Dodgers' other catcher, has a bad hand. That's Lee Lacy who will come up and inherit an 0-2 count.
He couldn't come up in a better position right now because he's got nothing to lose. The count is 2 strikes. If he strikes out, it belongs to Buckner.
You know, Al, this
if he gets a base hit, it belongs to Lacy, right?
This is a difference in the ball games today than they were years ago. Years ago, you weren't smart enough to come out of there when there was something bothering you like that, and you tried to play, you know, and everybody wanted to be a rough, tough guy, and you got an injury, and you just gone out there and play anyway. You end up hurting yourself permanently, or at least be out of the lineup for a month or two, and really it wasn't too helpful for anybody. We used to like to say, oh, yeah, we were tougher than those guys, but, you know, maybe we were dumber.
My old theory was there's not a bone showing, get out there and play. No, I've, you know, full side muscles, they're tough.
Here's the replay on Buckner's check swing. Yep. Now the 0-2 pitch coming up to Lacy is called strike 3, so Lacy strikes out. That's a lovely spot to be in, isn't it? 0-2, you're sitting on the bench and relaxing and watching the game. Get a bat.
Didn't hurt him at all. The strikeout goes to Buckner. If he'd have got a base hit, well, it would have been Lacy's base hit.
Steve Yeager, the batter. Yeager hitting .228. Steve with 11 homers and 29 runs batted in. 1-0. Rodriguez, we mentioned, with a bad hand. Yeager with the knee, hurt it swinging in the game against the Reds over the weekend. 1-1. It looked for a while tonight like Sizemore would have to catch for the Dodgers.
You know, you mentioned before the game that Sizemore signed as a catcher. Just recently, he did catch a couple of extra innings.
Last week against the Astros. Said he looked pretty good.
Yeah, I'd like to have seen him.
Wonder who called the signs for him.
Candelaria with a 2-1 pitch. Grounded foul. The count on Yeager is 2-2. Candelaria has started by setting down the first 7. John with 2 strikeouts. 1 out, bases empty in the third inning at Pittsburgh. No score. Ball 3.
one thing the Dodgers have got to guard against, and being as they're so far out in the race, but they just come off a 4-game loss, and it is tough to get yourself up for this ball game. They got to be flat coming in here.
And Yeager is on. So the Dodgers have their first base runner. Yeager, a 1-out third-inning walk. And it'll bring up Doug Rauh. Well, Buckner having to come out. The Dodgers at least getting some good news. Reggie Smith, it looked like Smith would not join the team until this weekend in Chicago, but we hear now Reggie will report here tomorrow. Smith made a fabulous catch in Dodger Stadium over the weekend, robbing George Foster of a home run. Rauh hits a soft grounder to short. Bennett turning it over, but not in time. They get the force on Yeager at second, and there's 2 down. So Rauh is aboard with 2 down in the third inning. And Davey Lopes coming up.
Figure he might have been button in that situation, but maybe he's a better hitter than we think he is.
Well, Norm, you got out of that one.
Dave Lopes drove one to the gap in left center, which Oliver caught in the first inning. Dave batting .231. Breaking ball into his feet. 1-0 the count. Rauh at first. Doug not a threat to go, so Scargill playing back of him. And Lopes takes ball 2. 2-0 the count. Doug Rauh aboard at first. No score in the third inning. Hit down at Taveras and right through him. Rauh pulls in at second. Taveras had an easy play and nonchalanted it.
Well, according to the papers and everything that's been happening to the Pirates lately, that's exactly what's happened to them all year. They've been bobbling ground balls. They've been missing the cutoff man. They've been throwing the wrong base, and they haven't been doing the fundamentals good. And you're not going to win any championships if you don't do the fundamentals.
You know, the Pirates aren't really noted for their slick defensive play anyway, so it's really not much different than it has been in the past few years. They were never a great defensive ball player.
Taveras' 22nd error of the year as Sizemore takes a breaking ball inside ball 1.
Yeah, back when, when Oliver's hitting home runs, hitting good average, and Scargill's hitting 50 home runs, and you just outpower everybody.
Right.
The count. The Pirates have averaged an error a game, 109 errors in 109 games. Two on, 2 out, no score in the third. At the knees for a strike, and the count 2-1. At Kansas City, they go to the third inning. Royals still leading the Yankees 3-0. Breaking ball hit foul, and the count 2-2.
2 good ball clubs over. That's Whitey Herzog got Kansas City really going good.
Doug Rauh aboard at second, and Dave Lopes at first. That's one way to keep Lopes from stealing. 2 down. 2-2 the count. Fouled away.
That's what the opposition used to do when I played with the Tigers. They'd walk me intentionally, get to clog up the bases.
Yeah. I remember you. You went around with a cane.
I could see better than that.
2-2 to Sizemore. Is grounded to Robinson and off his glove. Rauh will stop at third, and the bases are loaded. Candelaria's support is not exactly dazzling in the third inning. Davey Lopes pulling in at second. Sizemore reaching. Robinson gets an error. And so Candelaria is asked to get 5 outs in the inning.
Makes it a little bit tough, you know, when you're out there and you're pitching. Of course, the guys are doing their best, but it makes for a tough ball game.
They're loaded for Russell. Bill grounded out in the first inning. One hopper fielded by Taveras over to Stenick. So the errors do no damage. In the inning, no runs, no hits, 2 errors, 3 left. End of 2.5, no score.
Chevrolet asked Chevette owners how they liked their cars.
My Chevette drives much better than I expected. It has a really solid feel.
Being 6'3", I find the head and leg room in the driver's seat fine. I really like Chevette's interior room.
My Chevette's great. I really enjoy it. I live in Boston and can park it anywhere. I like the maneuverability and the fact that I don't feel I'm in a small car. I traded in a Fiat for my Chevette.
Chevette by Chevrolet. It could make you a happy owner, too.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Fred Lynn, and I'd like to show you some of our home movies. This is Fred winning the Most Valuable Player Award. And here he is in his Botany 500 vested suit. He really knows baseball, but all he needs to know about fashion is Botany 500. Here's Fred in his European-styled Cartier collection. He trusts Botany 500, and so do I.
Dee, you talk a lot, but you make good sense.
Botany 500, the first thing to look for in a suit. Dress like a baseball player. Dream you're an all-star. Have fun with baseball.
The preceding was a message on behalf of Major League Baseball. In focus come the Chandeliers in the Allegheny Club. Private club back of first base. Pretty good way to watch a ball game, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Lacey stays in the game. He'll play left field. Buckner coming on. Lacey now in left. Amos Otis homering in the 3rd inning at Kansas City, so the Royals still hitting in the 3rd, leading the Yankees 4-0. Duffy Dyer to lead off, takes a strike. In the bottom of the 3rd inning, no score. Foul back. Manny Sanguillen has been under the weather for a few days, so Dyer has been doing the catching. Duffy, another product of Arizona State. I mentioned that one night, and you said, how can I put him up there with Bando and Jackson and Monday, Bob?
Yeah, I did say that.
He's in the lineup. 1-2.
Well, they got a good baseball program out there in those Arizona schools, I'll tell you. We used to go out there and play them back when I went to old Sul Ross State.
They didn't have schools then, did they?
Yeah. It's all-girls school.
That was a long time ago, Norm.
3, and it brings up Candelaria. Granted by Major League Baseball, so transmission or other use of the pictures, descriptions of Major League Baseball this season. Injury to Buckner on the check swing, his right hip. Pirates bench.
It can be very painful, too, you know, having to pivot those hips when you swing.
To the count. One hit in the game. Frank Taveras, the leadoff single. There's Buckner as he remains on the Dodger bench. Candelaria fouls it off. On deck, Frank Taveras. Candelaria, 1 down, bases empty, bottom of the 3rd. Two down, Frank Taveras, who has the only hit in Garvey to Russell to get him at second. Taveras from the Dominican Republic. Dodgers trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Lost to Houston Wednesday. And then got swept over the weekend by the Reds. You're not going to beat the Reds, though, when you score 9 runs in 4 games. 1-2.
I was talking to the starter before the game, and he was telling me that they were just one base hit away or just one little mental error away from winning 2 or 3 of those ball games over. They just couldn't pull it over.
And Rao has 5 strikeouts. He strikes the side out here in the 3rd. And at the end of 3 quick innings in Pittsburgh, it's the Dodgers nothing, the Pirates nothing.
This is one birthday party the whole country's invited to. Happy birthday, America. 200 years of feeling free. Years that have given this country a big thirst for living. The thirst that ice-cold Pepsi-Cola was made for.
Generation joins the nation celebration. Here today and today we're feeling free.
It's going to be a little short. About 70 miles. This is Bob for Texaco Hope in the Gulf of Mexico. This water is 260 feet deep. It can cost up to 6 times more to drill for oil out here than on land. But we've got to do this if America's to become less dependent on unreliable sources of oil from abroad. At Texaco, we're working to keep your trust.
I remember the first time I kissed her. You know something? After all these years, the excitement's still there. It shouldn't matter that you wear dentures. Not if you use new formula Polident. We've added more cleansers to Polident, more oxygen whitener, and a unique penetrating ingredient, all to make this new formula the best cleaning Polident ever. So you can stay close, as always. New formula Polident. We want you to stay close.
In Pittsburgh, Al Michaels with Bob Gibson and Norm Cash. No score as we go to the 4th inning. Walter Alston in the Dodger dugout. And Alan Malamud, who is the sports editor of the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner, out with a column in this afternoon's editions. Time for Alston to go. Walter, the subject of quite a bit of controversy. I get to L.A. a lot. You listen to the radio talk shows where people call in. One call, get rid of the bum. Next call, no, he's got a lot of experience keeping him. Back and forth. He just sits there, calm, placid.
Signed a 1-year contract again every year.
You know, I think the fans give the manager too much credit for winning or losing a ball game. You know, if you have a good ball club, I don't care who you are, you can become a great manager. But by the same token, if the ball club stinks, I don't care what kind of manager it is, he's not going to do a good job.
0-2 pitches inside.
And that's not to say the Dodgers stink. They're having a pretty good year, but Cincinnati's just kind of run away with things.
Theory of relativity. I know a few clubs, if they were that far over 500, they'd be popping champagne.
The Cardinals, I know.
Yeah. Giants, Expos. Fouled away. 1-2 on Garvey. Garvey, Say, and Baker. 4th inning, no score. Say on deck. Tip and held by Dyer, strike 3. That's Candelaria's 3rd strikeout. So it's been Candelaria and Rao tonight. Candelaria hasn't given up a hit. Rao's given up 1 single and has struck out 5. Say, the batter, struck out in the 2nd inning.
Shall we start getting excited a little bit here about the no-hitter? I know every time we say something like that, everybody hits the ceiling. Hey, you're talking when they're pitching a no-hitter.
Nah, that's a myth. That's over and done with. Guys have been talking about it on the air for years. Seems like we have a no-hitter every time we do a game on a Monday. Last week we had Alexander in New York. Perfect game, 2 out in the 7th. Had Garland in Baltimore, 2 out in the 8th.
We'll have one before the year is over.
0-2 the count on Say. Foul back. Only one-man no-hitter pitched in the majors this season, Larry Zerker, though Blue Moon Odom and Francisco Barrios combined to walk 11 and pitch a no-hitter at Oakland.
See, that's what you call smart pitching. See, they walk the guy every time they thought he was going to get a base hit.
Pitch around him, huh? Hit the next guy. Say strikes out swinging. So Garvey and Say have both struck out in the 4th inning. Quickly 2 down. And Dusty Baker. How about Steve Luber, the Twins, the other night? 2 out in the 9th, lost a no-hitter.
Right. You know, it seems every time somebody makes an error, it costs the pitcher. The guys, like I said before, the guys out there playing, you know, as hard as they can. But when you make an error, it seems like it does something to you.
Baker takes inside. Thurman Munson is homered for the Yankees in the 4th. Yankees hitting in the 4th. Kansas City leading 4-1. 1-1 on Baker.
That could be a rerun of the Classic in October for the playoffs. Kansas City, New York Yankees.
Preview of the playoffs, which will be on ABC. Al Oliver, easy play. Down goes Baker. Candelaria has not given up a hit through 4. And at the end of 3.5 in Pittsburgh, still the Dodgers nothing, the Pirates nothing. Catch up on some scores here. There's no score in Pittsburgh, end of 3.5. Hall of Fame game at Cooperstown today. The Brewers beat the Mets 9-3. They had the induction ceremonies inside because of the rain, but they were able to play. In the 4th, Kansas City leading the Yankees 4-1. Texas out in front of Cash's buddies, 6-0. 3rd inning, Cleveland leading the White Sox in the 6th. And here come the Cardinals. See, they don't miss you, Gibby. 2nd inning, 2-1 St. Louis. Giants and Expos 1-1 in the 5th. Here, Rennie Stennett hits one down to Garvey, and Steve will take care of it himself. 1 down. Stennett retired. Up comes Al Oliver. Walked in the 1st.
Well, you got a lot of ball players tonight, first ball hitting, I'll tell you. They're just walking up there and swinging at the first good pitch that they see. That's an indication that they're a little bit behind in the race.
1 out, bases empty. Strike here. Bob will tell you the Pirates annually, first ball hitters, most of them bad ball hitters, come up swinging.
That's why the Pirates are such a difficult ball club to pitch a no-hitter against, because they swing at everything and they don't wait till the ball is over the plate. Inside, outside, high or low, they might hack at it, you know, and in order to pitch a no-hitter, you just about got to throw the ball 4 feet away from it.
All right,
walk them all.
You let me in. Bob Gibson pitched 1 no-hitter in his career right here. 2-1 the count.
The same ball club. They were hacking at everything. Of course, when you pitch something like that, you have to have some tremendous plays behind you, which I had good defensive play behind me that year.
On an old phrase of yours, you pitch a no-hitter on the day they wasn't hitting.
Yeah, it was easy.
2-2 on Oliver. You always had that truculent countenance out on the mound and an air of arrogance about you and everything. When you were in the 9th inning of your no-hitter, you knew it. Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was nervous. You know, and I hate to admit it because I'm supposed to be the guy that was so cool, you know, nothing bothered him, but I was actually shaking. My pants were shaking in the back in the 9th inning.
Oliver hits one down the line for a base hit. Lazy up with the ball to hold him to 1.
Now, that's the kind of thing right there that I talked to him before the game about, you know. Since I'm a former batting champion, you know. You got to get a few little tinkers like that. You know, hit them whether or not, and all of a sudden he'll start hitting the ball hard, and he'll be back getting that 3 for 4, 4 for 5, and be back up on top of the heap again.
Here's Stargell, popped out in the 1st inning. Willie hitting .252. Checks his swing, 1-0 the count. Al Oliver at first base. 1 down, 4th inning, no score. 2-0 the count.
Big Willie wanted to challenge you to a basketball game before this.
Oh, yeah. Every time I see him, he wants to play basketball. He's an old ex-basketball player, and I'm an ex-basketball player, so he thinks he wants to get me out there on the field, on the court.
classy man.
Yes, sir.
Wilbur Stargell, 35 years old.
I never talked to ball players when I was playing, but this is one guy that I always had time to stop and say something to. Just first class.
Chopper hit to Sizemore, makes the tag, gets the double play. Al Oliver tagged out by Sizemore and then over to Garvey, and the Bucks are done in the fourth. They get a hit, nobody left on, and at the end of 4 complete. Pittsburgh nothing, Los Angeles nothing.
20th
stop. Don't let the guy tag you. Of course, if you run out of the baseline, you're out anyway.
This weekend, ABC brings you exclusive coverage of the 58th PGA National Golf Championship from the Congressional Country Club in Washington, D.C. Coverage starts Friday night, 11:30 Eastern and Pacific, 10:30 Central, with second-round highlights. Saturday's third-round action, live, 5 o'clock Eastern, and on Sunday, the final round, live at 4 o'clock Eastern Time here on ABC. Lee Lacy leading off in the 5th inning.
Golf, that's my game now. That's something I know something about.
You might know something about it. What do you shoot?
I'm pretty strong 7 handicap. I play pretty good.
2-1. You ever play that course in Washington, Congressional?
I never played it. I was never invited to Washington, but I played some lovely courses. I played Bel Air in California, and that's one of the best courses in the country.
Hit down to short, and Frank Tavares over to Stargell in top. You couldn't have played Bel Air.
I did.
You don't wear shoes. They wouldn't let you in.
I played with Lassie. I played... Eddie Marin is a pro out there, such a fine gentleman, and I played with Robert Stack one day. Can you imagine that? Untouchables.
Yeah, it sounds like he's doing a little name dropping here.
Jimmy and I don't keep that company.
Yeah, I don't know anybody like that. I can mention a few people I know.
Try it. Name all your friends.
You wouldn't recognize them. Name all of my one friend.
Yeah, you've got a lot of sports writer buddies.
Oh, yeah, we love each other.
0-1 on Yeager. 1 out, bases empty, nothing in the 5th, and the count 0-2. You mentioned before you don't, or you didn't when you were playing, talk to a lot of visiting players, and that runs counter to the normally accepted mode around the league.
Right, my theory was the less I said to the opponent, the less comfortable they were around me. When I would pitch against them, they weren't sure whether I was mad at them, whether I liked them, whether I didn't like them. And I think it would be more effective for a pitcher not to talk to the other guys so they'd be unsure of themselves. With confidence, they'll hit the ball. No confidence, they won't hit it.
You must have written the book Winning Through Intimidation with a nom de plume, huh?
I tell you, a lot of guys do it a lot of different ways, and the way I did it was effective for me. I can't say that works for everybody. You know, you might go out there and yell at somebody and end up getting punched in the eye. I don't know. Just didn't happen to me.
1-2 to Yeager, hit in the air to right field deep, but Parker had some room and 1 hit. In the 5th inning with Doug Rao coming up. So Candelaria has not given up a hit through 4 2/3. He has walked 1. He was in trouble in the 3rd inning. The Pirates made 2 errors back of him, and that's the inning in which he issued the walk, and then had to work out of a bases-loaded jam by getting Russell to hit into a force. Doug Rao grounded out his first trip. 1-0.
Oh, that mean breaking ball.
1-1. Kansas City now leading the Yankees 6-1 in the bottom of the 4th at Kansas City.
You know, the Dodgers, having lost these 4 games in a row, if they have a guy pitch a no-hitter against them today, it's just about kill them. Just about destroy the morale.
1-2 on Rao. Rao gets on. Davey Lopes will be next. 2 down, bases empty. 5th inning, no score. 2 hits in the game, both by the Pirates. Checked in time, and the count 2-2.
Oh, he looked wicked out there tonight. Ball's got to be sinking. That sidearm curveball breaking away from him left-hander. Good shot right here.
Ball strike 3. Candelaria ends the 5th inning with his 5th strikeout. Rao says, give me that call now. Candelaria, a no-hitter through 5 at the end of 4.5. Nothing.
First 100 years, all we brought out of this mine was Levi's blue jeans. Tough as nails. But then we struck a whole new vein. Now look, new fabrics, new colors, and new styles. They all come from the same place as those blue jeans, so they're bound to do right by folks. Because here at Levi's, we put a little blue jean in everything we make.
96% of all Chevy trucks registered in the past 10 years are still on the job. And before we introduced our Chevy Chevette, we took it through many of the same durability tests our tough Chevy pickup trucks go through. We tested its brakes the same way, its corrosion resistance, its suspension. Now, we're not trying to say a Chevette can do everything a Chevy truck can do, but obviously the Chevette has been raised in some pretty tough company. When you want to stay first, you design cars to last.
Al Michaels, Norm Cash on the right. Bob Gibson here in the middle. You pitched the no-hitter in this ballpark. Candelaria's got one tonight. Through 5. Looking sharp. Struck out 5.
I think it's a little early for him to get concerned. If he goes into the 7th inning and he hasn't given up a hit, then it's time to get a little excited. Right now, it's a little bit early.
Doug Rao's got some good stuff tonight, too.
Oh, yeah.
They're both pitching great. You know, being a left-handed hitter, I'm glad I'm sitting up here in the booth tonight where that breaking ball's breaking.
John Candelaria, 6 feet 7.
He's not worried about it. He's cool.
Nah, he wants some runs. He wants runs.
Bottom of the 5th inning. No runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for the Pirates. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Dodgers. Zisk leads off by lining one to left, and Lacey has to play it on a bounce. Richie Zisk, a leadoff single here in the 5th inning, so the Pirates have the leadoff man on. And Dave Parker coming up. Parker having a good year average-wise. Came in tonight hitting .303. What's surprising is a man with his strength has only 7 home runs at this point of the year.
I think the big thing with Dave is that he doesn't only hit the ball hard when he hits it on the end of the bat, I mean on the fat part of the bat, but he hits the ball pretty good when it's inside too. So he gets a lot of hits that aren't necessarily on the meat of the bat. And that accounts for his hitting 300 or hitting near 300 every year.
Hit sharply to the hole and through. They were playing at the pole, and so Russell was over toward the middle.
Well, he did exactly what you said, Bob. That ball hit him right on the hand.
Yeah, the book on Parker is to pitch him inside. Of course, he's so big and strong. When you pitch him inside, he still can get a base hit like he just did.
Nelly, I looked at his bat before the game. It looked like he used a wagon tongue, too, so no way you're going to break that thing.
The Pirates have their first threat. Richie Zisk at second. Dave Parker at first. Nobody out. Bill Robinson, the batter. Fouled away. Robinson struck out in the 2nd inning. So Rao in his first jam of the night. The Pirates have had a runner on in only 1 other inning. In the first, Tavares singled, but was thrown out. Trying to go into second, got caught leaning the other way, and then Oliver walked with 2 down. Now they have runners at first and second. Nobody out. Hit softly stairs down the left field line and into the corner. This will come in to score, and Lacey has trouble with it on the warning track. So Parker will score on a double by Robinson.
Robinson's just having one of those super years, and I always like to see ball players finally, get a lot of confidence in themselves, and he has certainly achieved that. Hit that ball like a bullet.
There's nothing you can do about that. The third baseman has got to play double play position. You can see he's off of the bag there. He's 4 feet off of that bag. Ball's down the line. Nothing you can do about it. In later innings, that third baseman is going to be playing closer to the bag, and of course he would have caught that ball.
And Lacey, who's out of position in left, he's been playing second and center, having trouble with the carom. As Parker crosses the plate with a second run after Zisk, and Bill Robinson is at second. Walter Alston is at the mound, and the Dodger bullpen is in action. Left-hander Stan Wall, right-hander Elias Sosa. Alston on his way back. Pirates lead 2-0 in the 5th inning.
I wonder how many times Walter's made that trip.
I wonder what he says when he goes out there, because he's a man of very few words. And it would be interesting to find out what he's talking about when he goes out there.
Elias Sosa, the right-hander. Stan Wall, the left-hander in the Dodger bullpen. The batter, Duffy Dyer, takes the ball, 1-0. All right, you can say Walter is a man of few words. So is Red Schoendienst, your former manager of the Cardinals. What did he say when he went out?
How do you feel?
It's a right field. It'll be an out, but deep enough to advance Robinson. Baker makes the catch, and Robinson moves over to third.
Of course, when the manager is going to take you out, he doesn't really say very much at all. He comes out and he asks for the ball. If he comes out and he asks you how you feel, you think you can get the guy out, you got a shot at it. Most of the managers, when they're going to take you out, they'll have called that guy in the bullpen when they get to the foul line, so you don't have to worry about trying to talk him into leaving you in there, because usually when he leaves you in there, you end up getting knocked all over the place anyway.
Sometimes I wonder why, Bob, if they're intent on taking the guy in, why they don't just take a towel and wave it and say, come on in, instead of going out there.
But not the suicide squeeze. Yeager makes the catch. It was the safety with Robinson holding at third. So Candelaria tried to get it down to get Robinson in. Yeager making the catch, and there's 2 down.
Norm, you asked that question, why don't they wave out of the dugout? We played a series over in Japan after our 1968 World Series, and in Japan, the manager doesn't come out of the dugout. He stands there and he waves you off the field, and he waves the guy from the bullpen in from the dugout.
I don't know why that they wouldn't do it, here, I guess, unless they're thinking of showing a picture up or something,
Tavares takes a strike. Robinson at third, 2 down. Make it like vaudeville. Get a long hook, maybe.
When you feel something up around your neck, it's time to leave.
Your job, pal.
I'll tell you what, I've seen a few guys you wave that towel at and it's been a dugout before you got through waving it. They wanted to get out of there.
0-2 on Tavares, 2 down, 2-0 Pittsburgh in the 5th inning.
Somebody will come up with that this way. Baseball is rapidly changing, doing that. Some manager will come up with that one of these days. They've already had radios in hats. That happened a long time ago. I won't not elaborate who it was, but...
Fouled away. What do you mean you won't elaborate?
I take the 5th. It has happened. I heard one time.
They had radios and hats?
Yes.
What'd they do?
They put a little transistor in a certain person's ear, and you could talk to him from the dugout and then tell him, what was going on, and
tell you what pitch was thrown?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Hit to left field. Lacey is there and makes the catch. So in the 5th inning, the Pirates get a couple of runs, 3 hits, and leave a man. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh at the end of 5. Back with more from Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh after this word from our local stations.
This is ABC.
had a feeling this was what Bob Gibson would do when he was finished with baseball.
I wanted to do that when I was playing, not finished.
What are you talking about, sweep the field or umpire?
Little true shot. Peck on the cheek.
That's what makes the world go round.
I think there's a coyote loose up here. On to the 6th inning. Dave Lopes to lead off for Los Angeles. 1-0 the count. John Candelaria has not given up a hit through 5. Walked a man, struck out 5. Hit down to Taveras. Lopes is gone. 1 out in the 6th inning.
Now it's time to start getting a little excited, Al.
Candelaria. Good stuff. Good fastball. Good breaking pitch. Gets his breaking pitch over. He's got to make his fastball that much more effective. Sharp tonight. Good control. Ahead on most of the hitters. Sizemore takes a breaking ball away. Ball 1.
This guy, Sizemore, is basically a breaking ball hitter, and by that I mean he hits the breaking ball better than he does the fastball, so I'd be kind of careful with breaking stuff with him.
Breaking ball there, fouled away. And the count 1-1. Nothing Pittsburgh in the 6th inning. And those of you watching the Yankee-Royals game, welcome to this one as Ted Sizemore lines out to Frank Taveras. So 2 down. The story here in Pittsburgh is that John Candelaria has a no-hitter through 5 2/3. He's been in trouble only once, and not by his own doing. The Pirates made 2 errors. And Candelaria walked a man in the 3rd inning, but worked out of it. Hit to short. Taveras throwing to first in time to get Russell. And Candelaria with a no-hitter through 6 at the end of 5 1/2 in Pittsburgh. The Pirates leading the Dodgers 2-0.
I like my chicken finger-licking good.
I like my chicken finger-licking good.
Whatever Lila likes, Lila gets. And Lila likes her chicken finger-licking good.
Well, of course I like my chicken finger-licking good. Is there any other kind of chicken?
I like my chicken finger-licking good.
Real goodness from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Firestone announces a very special tire value you'll want to know about before you go on vacation. $11 off on the Firestone Deluxe Champion Super Belt. That's $11 off the regular June price. You get one of Firestone's largest selling tires for just $25. But hurry, supplies are limited during the national tire shortage. Oh, and remember, before your vacation, don't forget your tires.
Al Michaels with Bob Gibson, Norm Cash in Pittsburgh. The Pirates ahead 2-0 as Doug Rao gets set to go to work in the bottom of the 6th inning. Stennett, Oliver, and Stargell. Pirates getting 2 in the 5th on singles by Zisk and Parker, and a double by Robinson. Rennie Stennett is 0 for 2, flying to right, grounded to Garvey. Stennett hitting .264. 0-1 the count. Bill Russell. Throw is high, and Stennett, who has good speed, I think would have beaten it out anyway. So Rennie Stennett aboard. Al Oliver coming up, and for Oliver, well, there have been some changes since the All-Star game.
Things changed a little bit for you?
Yes, they have. I must admit, I think basically what was happening, I think I ran some tough pitching, and also I ran into a lot of atom balls. I hit the ball exceptionally well since the All-Star break, but for some strange reason, the defensive ball players didn't do an outstanding job. So I think it's a combination of the two. The fact that I had a lot of balls at people, and the fact that I have ran into some good pitching.
Oliver has walked and singled. Stennett at first base. They gave Russell an error on the play, the Dodgers' first error of the night. The Pirates have hit only 2 homers against the Dodgers this season. Oliver has one, Robinson the other, both off Rao. 1-0 the count on Al.
Got a great attitude, this fellow at the plate. Controlled hitter.
You know, I really don't care anything about the attitude. He can hit.
Pop foul. Yeager giving chase. Won't have room. 1-1. All right, you've said before, Norman, you like Oliver for the batting title. I've got to go with Pete Rose because Pete can smell it now. Bob, who do you think?
Well, I got to go with Rose, and the reason is, you know, Pete gets 200 hits almost every year. And right now, I think I'm not sure, but he's somewhere like 20 hits ahead of Oliver, and I think that's a big deficit to make up.
Foul back, 1-2 the count.
You guys never do agree with me. And I'm right all the time.
Not true. I've been talking to Dorothy Cat.
Maybe they'll tie. All of us be satisfied.
Stennett off to his lead at first. The 1-2 to Oliver. Popped up. Shallow right center. Dusty Baker, after looking at Lope. Davey makes the catch for the out. Lope's playing center. Normally a second baseman, but he's played quite a bit of center. Baker has been playing a lot of center, and now he's over at right. So a bit of confusion.
Yeah, they got their signals crossed up there. Somebody's got to do the yelling out there. I got it, I got it. And other guys just got to back off. But a lot of times when you have a lot of people here and the noise in the crowd is quite a bit, you don't hear what the other guy is saying.
Stennett goes. Yeager drops the ball. And so Stennett has an uncontested steal. That's Rennie's 14th. And 10th in a row without getting caught. So Stennett in at second. The count on Stargell is 0-1. Stargell is 0 for 2. Pittsburgh 2. The Dodgers nothing in the 6th inning. 0-2.
Oh, you got to cut at that ball. See the dust rise up after that swing? Looks mean up there.
You know, there ought to be a law against the guy swinging that hard at that little ball.
Be a lot of fun to have one hit right back at you.
Oh, boy.
That's happened to you, huh?
Oh, yeah, this very guy. The book on him also is to keep the ball inside. So one day I got real clever. And I had 2 strikes on him. I thought I'd go away and kind of waste the pitch and then come back inside. And when I went away, he hit one, which it went over my right shoulder. I tried to catch it, but you know, my reflexes weren't that quick, and I turned around and looked to see who was going to catch it, and went over the center field wall.
Popped up. Garvey telling Sizemore he'll handle it, and Steve not lying. 2 down. So Stennett at second, 2 down in the 6th inning. And Richie Zisk, the batter. All right, if you're Walter Alston now, you got Zisk, a right-handed batter up there, first base open. Parker, left-handed batter on deck. You put Zisk on?
No. Now he would put him on, and I wouldn't put him on. And the reason why, and not taking anything away from Zisk, I think Parker is a better hitter than Zisk. Parker doesn't care anything about left-handed pitching. He'll hit it just as well as he will right-handed pitching. He's got a chance of getting chinkers over the infield, so I would pitch to him.
And that's what they're doing as he takes up high. Ball 1. Stennett at second base with 2 down. The Pirates leading 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Of course, that might be another reason why I'm up here rather than managing, too. You never know.
Yeah, you'd be a great manager. You'd love it when everybody came in after the game.
Oh, I would
writers.
Huh? Oh, I wouldn't let them in.
Yeager tries to pick him off, but Stennett gets back. There are some guys around the country, writers who are laying for you, Gibby.
Oh, yeah. I had a guy down in Houston get after me. He says, how do you justify the fact that you interview ball players when you didn't like to be interviewed yourself? explain it simply. First of all, I don't have to answer to anybody. And secondly, I wouldn't interview the guy if he didn't want it.
Popped up. Who's going to take it? Sizemore. And the Pirates are done in the 6th inning. No runs, no hits. The Dodgers make an error. Pirates lead 1. We go to the 7th. Pittsburgh ahead 2-0.
Amana makes a refrigerator with freezer where you want it. Freezer on the bottom, freezer on the side, ice and water with freezers on the side, or the special advantage of the freezer on the top. Inside, they all have the Amana refrigerator within a refrigerator that keeps meat fresher longer because super cold air surrounds the outside. Store more doors and independent temperature controls. Amana refrigerators with a freezer where you want it, bottom, side, or top.
Gillette has a new razor, hon. A new razor called Good News. You never have to change the blades.
That's nice, dear.
You never have to change the blades. It's disposable. How's it shave? Fantastic. It's twin blades. That's a great shave.
What happens when the blades get dull?
After lots of great shaves, you throw the whole thing away. What's it cost? Oh, about 2 for 50 cents. What's it called?
Good News.
The Good News disposable razor.
Shaves like these at a price like this, you can't afford not to try Good News.
Harry, are they going to stay for lunch?
A symphony for shaving, brought to you by thick, rich Gillette Foamy. Lay it on thick. It's smooth going when you shave. Clean, close, smooth. Gillette Foamy. Get into the thick of it.
Candelaria, a no-hitter through 6. The Dodgers have had men on in only 1 inning. In the 3rd, he walked Yeager, and then Lopes and Sizemore got aboard on errors. He got out of the jam by getting Russell to ground out. Outside of the 3rd, he has been perfect. He has struck out 5. He has now set down 10 in a row since an error by Robinson in the 3rd. And the Dodgers in the 7th inning to send up Garvey, Say, and Baker. 2-0 Pittsburgh. Garvey has grounded out and struck out.
0-1. Same situation as we had the other night in New York. If there's a guy I wouldn't want to face, it would be Steve Garvey here. He's got to be one of the most dangerous men in a Dodger lineup as far as getting a base hit.
Well, these next 3 guys that he's got facing right here, if he can get by this inning, then I would say he stands a pretty good chance of pitching a no-hitter. But this is the meat of their lineup right now.
0-2. This program being brought to you is an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. We'll pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. Inside, 1-2. Al Michaels with Bob Gibson and Norm Cash in Pittsburgh. The Pirates with 2 runs in the 5th, leading 2-0. A bad pitch, and down he goes. And 6 strikeouts for Candelaria.
You know, one problem that a pitcher might have, you can see right here, that ball is a foot outside, and he swung at it. But one problem that a pitcher might have in the 7th inning, or anywhere after the 7th inning, when he knows that he's close to pitching a no-hitter, he gets a little careful. And a lot of time you can get careless when you get careful.
Ron Say takes a curve for a strike.
Starts throwing the ball like a dart, you're saying.
Hit to center. Oliver has room. Makes the catch. Edge of the track. So Say gets good wood, but hits it to the deepest part of the park. 2 down. You know what's really impressive about Candelaria tonight? He is a left-hander. He is wicked against left-handed hitters. But the Dodgers right now have only 1 left-handed hitter in the lineup. That's Doug Rao, the pitcher. The other left-handed hitter, Bill Buckner, hurt his hip on a swing the first time he came up tonight and was replaced by Lacey, a right-handed hitter.
When a guy's got good enough stuff to pitch a no-hitter, he doesn't care who's out there. He hits those spots and he throws the ball hard. He throws that curveball with real good spin. And it really doesn't matter whether there's a left-hander or a right-hander out there. He's going to try to blow him away.
Well, he's definitely got good stuff because they're swinging and missing a lot of pitches. They're not fouling the ball off.
Uecker hits it on one hop to Tavares, and Candelaria has gone through 7. Those of you watching the Yankees and Royals, back now to Bob Uecker. And here in Pittsburgh, the Dodgers go out 1-2-3, and after 6.5, Pirates 2, Dodgers nothing.
Chevrolet's Monza Town Coupe was created to be elegant, very elegant. It's styled to be dressy, finished to be formal, refined to be personal. You can surround yourself with available appointments like an AM/FM stereo tape system and a sliding sky roof. Also available, a V8 engine and 5-speed transmission. It's dressy and Chevy. Consider this a formal invitation to test drive Chevrolet's Monza Town Coupe. Black tie optional, of course.
In the summertime, when the weather is hot, you can stretch right up and touch the sky.
Don't let an overheated car spoil your summer driving. Have your independent Texaco retailer check your car's cooling system regularly and protect it with Texaco antifreeze and coolant. No other coolant of this type protects better against boilover, and it helps prevent rust and corrosion all year long. Texaco antifreeze and coolant.
I'm Pete Rhodes. They say I'd rather play baseball than eat. That's not quite true, but it's close. Where can you have more fun than at a ballpark, whether you're playing or watching? It's a place where you can take the whole family. A baseball game offers something for everyone. There's fun, there's excitement, there's suspense, clean air, friendly neighbors, and good food, too.
Preceding was a message on behalf of Major League Baseball. Bottom of the 7th inning, John Candelaria. That's the whole story right there. Candelaria, 7 no-hit innings. Watching the Bucks come up in the bottom of the 7th inning. If anybody gets on, Candelaria will come up. They've got the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Parker, Robinson, and Dyer. Dave Parker, 1 for 2. Hits Rao's first pitch down to Garvey on a couple of hops, and quickly 1 down.
Boy, you're right, Bob. These Pirates don't wait around for nothing, do they? They put that stick in their hand for one thing. That's to get up there and swish at it.
You know, there used to be old saying that if you bounce it up there is the only way you could get it by them. But they got a guy, Manny Sanguin, that will swing at the ball when it bounces, and he will hit it.
Bill Robinson, the batter, drove in the game's only runs with a double in the 5th inning. He doubled after Zisk and Parker had singled, and that's been it. 1-0 on Robinson. Bill hitting .317. Hit foul to right, 1-1. Crowd tonight is 15,131. That's not a bad crowd on a Monday night with the Pirates being written off by a lot of fans. Dodgers losing 5 straight, and the Steelers on local television.
Well, you know, I think the fans, a baseball fan is a baseball fan, and he loves to see a good ball game. And anytime you have the Pirates and the Dodgers out here, you're going to have a good ball game.
You know, you keep talking about football, you know, taking over the #1 sport. You tell me, if you played one game of baseball a week, would you pack the stadium every day, that day, like you do football?
I kind of think
sure you would.
I would imagine.
What if you played football 7 days a week?
Foul back. Well, the great thing about baseball is that people can still, you know, all kinds of people can afford it. Prices have gone up, but it's still the cheapest sports ticket around. Robinson strikes out looking, and there's 2 down.
You know, it never fails when a guy pitches a no-hitter, or at least when he comes close to pitching a no-hitter, you fail to mention that the guy, Rao, or whoever, pitches a pretty good ball game. It always seems that the other guy pitches a good ball game also.
Don't you feel the reason for that is if your team has an 8 or 9-0 lead early in the game, you might have a tendency to just want to throw strikes.
Right. But the game still isn't out of reach as far as Rao's concerned, and he's bearing down every pitch.
Ball 2, 2-0 on Dyer, Candelaria on deck. Charlie Huff gets up in the Dodger pen. Rao is due to hit 3rd when the Dodgers bat in the 8th. So this would figure to be Doug's last inning. Rao has walked only one. That was Oliver in the first inning. There's Candelaria on deck. Rao has struck out 6. Interesting note, the Dodgers a no-hitter since field, and the Pirates are gone.
Fly a lot closer. Relax. America's quality beer.
If you got the time.
State Farm agent Paul Ward.
I have dealt with my customers for many years on their automobile and their homeowners policies. So when the time comes to discuss life insurance with them, up to me because of the fact they already know me. I'm not just someone knocking on their door cold. I'm a friend. I'm someone they can trust and have confidence in.
A reminder, Monday Night Baseball next week. It'll start 1 hour earlier, 7:30 Eastern Time, 6:30 Central, over most of these ABC stations. Don't know where we'll be yet, but we'll have a good one for you. 1 hour earlier. And those of you watching the Yankees and the Royals, welcome back again to Pittsburgh, where John Candelaria warming up to go to work on the bottom of the Dodger order. In the 8th inning, he'll be facing Lee Lacy. Lacy came on when Bill Buckner injured his hip trying to check a swing in the 3rd inning. It'll be Lacy, Yeager, and then Doug Rao, the pitcher, due up. So we'll see a pinch hitter with Charlie Huff throwing in the Dodger bullpen. 2 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors for the Pirates. No runs, no hits, and 1 error for the Dodgers in the 8th inning. Michaels with Bob Gibson and Norm Cash in Pittsburgh. Lacy came up with a count 0-2 in the 3rd. Saw 1 pitch, it was strike 3. Then grounded out in the 5th inning. Pop foul. Not too much room in foul ground here, and Stargell will lean in but won't have a play.
I'll tell you one thing. Candelaria has had complete control of this ball game. There hasn't even been a real questionable ball hit off of him yet. They've all been routine ground balls.
When you look back, the closest the Dodgers have come to a hit, Lopes, the first man up in the game, drove 1 to center, and Oliver made a running catch. Up and in, 1-1.
He's moving the ball around real good. I think right here you're going to see him go to the spots that they talk about before the game starts. Lee Lacy is a guy that he likes the ball out over the plate. You can jam him. You can get inside. And I think that he's aware. He looks very cool out there. I'm sure inside he's jumping up and down.
Foul back, 2-2.
Yeah, you can bet he knows what's going on out there. He knows he's got one going.
He's known it since the 1st inning.
Breaking ball, comebacker, knocks it down, picks it up, lobs to Stargell for the out. 1 down in the 8th inning. Steve Yeager, the Dodger catcher, has drawn a walk. It's the only walk Candelaria has given up, and is flying to right. Again, if you joined us late, Candelaria in trouble in the 3rd inning. The Pirates made 2 errors back of him. He walked a man, so the Dodgers had the bases loaded, but he got Russell to ground out. One out in the 8th. Check swing foul. Rick Auerbach comes out on deck to hit for Doug Rao.
That's the last thing he wants, to have that ball hit back at him after on the mound. He don't want no part of that thing.
1-1 the count.
And it's funny, you know, Bob, a little balls like that could have hit him on the arm or could have bounced off his leg and could have been called a base hit.
Right. Anytime that ball's hit back to that pitcher, regardless of how it's hit, there's a chance of him getting a base hit.
2-1. You know, you talk about the pressure on the pitcher. There's a little pressure on the official scorer now, too, on a close play.
Well, you know, usually in a situation like this, if there's any doubt in his mind at all, he's going to put it down in favor of the pitcher.
Hit to Robinson on 2 hops, takes his time, gets him, and Candelaria is 4 outs away.
Well, you can talk about pressure on the official score.
That's going to get to the all right. Now, that slow curveball down to pitch anybody, especially if you're talking about a left-handed pitcher pitching to a right-handed hitter or vice versa. Dialing in is a no-no territory. So you got to stay away from that.
1-2 on Auerbach. 2-2. Crowd, of course, wants everything called a strike. Nick Colosi, the plate umpire. Bill Robinson, deep, close to the line at third.
Well, he should be off the line here a little bit.
Got him swinging. Candelaria's got a no-hitter through 8. And at the end of 7.5 is Pittsburgh 2 and the Dodgers nothing.
Max Mileage here, welcoming you to the Firestone Car Service Center, where you can count on us to help you get maximum mileage. We specialize in front-end alignment and precision wheel balancing. We replace worn-out shocks and overhaul drum and disc brakes and return the worn-out parts. Want to know more about Firestone's Max Mileage Car Service? Just check your local newspaper for this week's Firestone Max Mileage Car Service offer.
Death Valley, the hottest place in America. 3 1976 Chevrolet Vegas equipped with a new Durabuilt engine recently ran 60,000 miles each through country like this. In 180,000 total miles, the only engine part replaced other than maintenance items was one timing belt. 1976 Chevy Vega Durabuilt engine, built to take it. When you want to stay first, you design cars to last.
You know that man, that profile. He can be behind 15-0. His guy can have a no-hitter. I guess he's seen it all.
Yeah, I guess so. It looks like you might have to put something there to wake him up. I don't know.
This is Charlie Huff in to pitch for the Dodgers. Rao goes 7, gives up 2 runs and 5 hits. And Charlie Huff, who's had a super year working out of the bullpen. He's the key man for L.A. now. Mike Marshall dealt to Atlanta. And Huff has responded with a record of 9-4, 9 saves, and a 2.48 ERA.
He throws what we call the wobble ball. Knuckleball, no spin. Tough to hit. He's done a good job for him.
Standing ovation for Candelaria. Again, welcome back to the Yankees and Royals viewers. Candelaria has just gotten a standing ovation. Charlie Huff throws him a knuckleball for a strike. As a hitter tonight, 0 for 2. Hit to left field. Lacey coming on and makes the catch. Probably just as well. I'm sure he'd rather be back on the bench resting right now instead of running the bases.
Well, I don't know if I'd want to be on a bench resting, because when you're sitting on the bench, you have more time to think about what you're about to do or what you're almost near doing. I think I'd rather be on the base running, or at least thinking about something else.
Brings up Taveras. When Candelaria goes to the top of the 9th inning, he has the 1, 2, and 3 hitters, Lopes, Sizemore, and Russell. Taveras, who is 1 for 3, takes the strike. The scoring in the game can be recapped very quickly. In the 5th inning, Zisk and Parker with singles. Robinson doubled him home. 0-2 the count. Charlie Huff in relief of Doug Rao, who went 7.
It's been a well-played ball game, I'll tell you, on both sides.
Knuckleball high on the count, 1-2. Stennett will be next. Hit toward the hole. Russell covering some ground. Gets him. 2 down.
I can't hardly wait for the side to be out. I don't know about you.
It's supposed to be impartial.
Oh.
It's difficult. It's tough to be impartial when a guy's about to pitch a no-hitter out there.
Here is Stennett, running his 0 for 3. 1-0 the count. Fast game. Right now the game at the 1 hour and 40-minute mark. 1 out, 2 down, bases empty in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-1.
Yeah, we've seen pitchers with both of them got great control. You've seen a lot of first ball hitting. Both clubs swing at the first good pitch they see.
Yeager with the oversized mitt. Up jams him, gets a comebacker, and it's an easy inning. So all the drama building. Those of you with the Yankees and Royals, we go back now to Bob Uecker. And here in Pittsburgh, we will go to the 9th inning with the Pirates leading the Dodgers 2-0. Back with more after this word from our local station. The whole story right here. John Candelaria, 6'7", 215 pounds. Great basketball career in high school in New York. Had a chance to go to college. Probably would have wound up in the NBA or the ABA. Chose baseball. Called up by the Pirates last year. Came into national prominence in the playoffs. Struck out 14 Reds in game number 3, but the Reds won it. And now tonight goes into the 9th inning against the Dodgers with a no-hitter. 2-0 Pittsburgh. Al Michaels, Bob Gibson, Norm Cash with Dave Lopes to lead off in the 9th. 0 for 3. Hit to short. Easy play for Frank Taveras. 1 down.
You know what's going through his mind right now? 2 more outs.
Oh,
don't mess up.
I'm getting excited myself.
Yeah, but he didn't want to mess up right now. He wants that guy to hit the ball, but he didn't want him to hit it too hard. You think he's not thinking about it? Yeah, he's thinking about it.
Ted Sizemore, the batter. Sizemore 0 for 3. 1 out, bases empty. Takes a strike. The Dodgers have not had a no-hitter pitched against them in 26 years. Vern Bickford of the Boston Braves, August 11th, 1950. Hit in the air toward the line. Parker says he has it in foul ground, and he does. He down. Bill Russell will come up. Russell 0 for 3. Came into the game hitting 300.
You know what Candelaria would like to do right now? He'd like to call timeout and go into the clubhouse and throw up. I mean, he's just that nervous.
2 down in the 9th inning. A strike on a breaking pitch. 0-1. He's walked 1, struck out 7. Dodgers haven't had a base runner since the 3rd. 1-1. Fastball away.
Hey, he's not nibbling, Bob Gibson.
No, sir. Throw that ball hard and as hard as he can.
Got to come with your best stuff right now.
Oh, yeah. You don't mess around with throwing change-up, off-speed stuff or trying to nibble the corners. There it is.
Popped up. Can they get it? Taveras going out and coming in. He's over to make the save. John Candelaria pitches a no-hitter.
Where do people go wild? You think they just won the World Series or something?
There's no other feeling in the world like that for a pitcher.
None. The most electric moment in baseball. John Candelaria, a no-hitter. Al Oliver had a long way to go. It looked like Taveras might make the catch, but Oliver comes on and makes the catch on the dead run. And Candelaria, he had 8 perfect innings tonight. The only time the Dodgers had a man on, they loaded the bases. A walk and 2 errors in the 3rd inning. And John Candelaria pitches a no-hitter. The Dodgers have been no-hitted for the first time in 26 years. Pittsburgh wins it by a score of 2-0.
Oh, he had everything under control all the way. He was only in trouble, like you say, one time.